Hi, French one. It's Madame Class. So couple things I'm noticing on your assignments. Please make sure that you are watching the grammar tutorial that is on VHL before you watch this video, just to give you a basis before you start. We used to in class call that our Monsieur Uf video, but that is one of the selections on VHL that I have assigned. So please watch that first. And then once you've watched it, come back and watch our video here. So couple things. We are going to move on to possessive adjectives this week, and we'll plan on staying here for a week, maybe two. You seem to be doing much better with the other adjectives we have been working on, and honestly, I think these ones are a little bit more straightforward than those, so I think you should do pretty well. Please email me any questions you have or ask me on Google Classroom. I'd be happy to help you out. So let me start. Let's see if I can move this box. I'm just going to put my face on there so you can see me. Well, I'm going to tear it off. There, I figured it out. Sorry, guys. I'm still learning this technology here. All right. So couple things. This is section 3A.2 Possessive Adjectives. And possession. So just a couple quick reminders what that is in English. That means words like my, your, his, her, its, our, your, and their. Okay, so in French, there's a couple things about them. First of all, you're going to need to, just like with everything else for the most part, to be masculine and feminine. Okay, so just like we would have a le and a la article, for possessive adjectives, you're going to have a mon and a ma if you're saying my, or a ton and or a ta if you're saying your, depending on if it's masculine or feminine. These are both the singular forms. On this column here, you have the plural forms, the pluriel. So if it's plural, you don't need to worry about ma or mon. It's going to automatically be me or te or se, okay? So for masculine, for my, we got mon, ma, me. For your, which is familiar, so people you know, family, friends, and singular, you would have ton, ta, te. Son, sa, se is his, her, and its. It can mean all three of those. That one I think is a little tricky just because it can have so many meanings, but you just have to go by what's surrounding it in the rest of the context of the sentence or the paragraph. Then we have notre, nos, which means our. Notre and notre for masculin and féminin. Et la même chose, they're the exact same thing. So that's the nice thing. You don't need to worry about masculin and féminin, just the plural form and no. And then same thing for votre, vos, your for formal and for plural. So even if it is a group of your friends, if it's plural, you're going to be using vos. Okay, votre, vos. Le, again, these ones are the same, le and le for masculine and feminine, and then the plural will be le with an s, okay, meaning there. Okay, so for starting with basically our plural side, the notre, votre, le, those will all be the same if it's masculine and feminine. For the singular side, mon, ma, and ton, ta, and so on, sa, okay, those are the ones that will kind of change depending if it's masculine and feminine. Okay, and again, the plurals will all have different ones too for each form of these English translations. Important. So I was trying to go through, I'm trying to condense it so it's not such a long video for you guys. And I apologize, you know, once I sometimes start trying to pick out the most important parts, there seems to be a lot of them. So I'm going to try just, again, watch Monsieur Uf, watch the video, the grammar tutorial from VHL. These are just a couple other little tidbits about it. So important, it's always placed before the noun they modify. So for example, c'est mon chien, okay, it's my dog. Okay, it'll always go before it. It actually takes the place of the article that was there. Okay, if I want to say it's the dog, right? C'est le chien, the le would have been there. So it's actually taking the place of the le or the la or the le. It's going to agree in gender and number with the noun they modify, which is what I talked about on the other side. For example, mon père, singular, masculin. Ma mère was singular, féminin. And mes grands-parents is plural, right? So me automatically. If it's placed in front of a vowel or a vowel sound, now this is one that They do mention it with Monsieur Us video, but this is one of the things that sometimes takes a while for people to catch on to. So I just want to highlight this. If it is in front of a vowel or vowel sound, you're going to use the masculine form if it's singular. So, for example, ami. This version of ami, meaning friend, is féminin. There's an E on the end, okay? But we are not going to say ma ami, okay? It sounds too broken. So what they do is they use the masculine form for it. So they put mon ami. They don't change the ami. It's still a friend who's a girl, okay? But they are going to put mon in front of it, mon ami, okay? Now, if it was plural, and that's why it says if it's singular, if it's plural, it'd be mes amis, and it's fine. You can leave it alone. You're not going to change it to mon, okay? And you're only changing it to mon if it's going to be singular and it's in front of a vowel or a vowel sound, right? Like H, right? That's one of our, sometimes if it's in front of an H, we consider that part of a vowel sound. All right. The other thing that they do introduce this section is the possession with de. So in English, we use apostrophe S. That's how we do possession. George's book, right? We don't say, another way we say George's book. But in French, we're going to use de or d'apostrophe. Now, here's the deal. In my mind, when I'm thinking of possession in French, I think of it as being like of. So in English, we might say George's book. And in French, if I was literally going to translate it, it would be more like the book of George. Okay? So de, or de apostrophe, I kind of translate that to meaning of in my head as I'm looking at these. So here we have c'est l'ami de Claire, which just translates to it's Claire's friend. That's literally what it means. It's Claire's friend. But sometimes as we're getting used to it, it's easier to maybe think of it as it's the friend of Claire, which is the same way as saying it's Claire's friend, but that's how they do it. There's no apostrophe S that we're going to use in French. They use de. Or if it's in front of a vowel, that's why we said sometimes the apostrophe. C'est le chien d'Albert. C'est le chien d'Albert. It's the dog of Albert, or it's Albert's dog. Whichever way you want to translate it, those are both correct translations. They get the exact same point across. And again, there isn't going to be an apostrophe S in French. They use de or d'apostrophe. Now, because they use de or d'apostrophe, there are a few rules that you need to know about it. So if it's just a name like we just currently have, like someone's actual name, you don't need to worry about it so much. But if it's followed by a definite article of le or les, it needs to change its form. So for example, if the de had a le next to it, it's going to be now du. De plus le is du. You don't have the option to leave it as de le. You won't have de le together like that. And same thing here, if it's plural, if it was de plus les is de. And again, it's not optional. You will write it as du and you will write it as de. That's the way it is. So I have an example here. So, l'opinion de la grand-père est importante. Okay, so de le, here we go, we're crossing that off. That would not be correct. Okay, you need to change it to du. Okay, l'opinion du grand-père est importante. Okay. So du instead of de le. You can't leave it like de le, just like you won't be able to leave it as de le. All right. For la and L apostrophe, it's not going to change actually. So de plus la is still going to be de la. And de plus L apostrophe will still be de L apostrophe. So an example I have of that is l'opinion de la mère est très importante. Okay. So mom's opinion, mother's opinion is very important. Okay, so de le, you don't need to change it. It's only being changed if it is de, I'm sorry, did I say de le? De la, it's only being changed if it's de le, de le, okay? De la, leave it alone. De l'apostrophe, leave it alone, all right? That one, they do it a little bit in this section. They just kind of introduce it. They do get a little bit more detail with it. I think next week I will do a little bit more details with this part of the article. The main thing that we're going to be focused on for this week mostly is these possessive adjectives. And again, it's going to be really important, you guys. You want to make sure you get some notes, right? So as you're watching Monsieur Euf, take some notes and then watch this video and add to the notes that you've already taken. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Au revoir.